I'm not surprised at anything today. And I really don't understand why people watch the Fed so much. Do you know what I mean? They're the problem. The Fed is the problem. And they've torn apart the whole financial system. I mean, they're actually a criminal operation as far as I'm concerned.
Live from the USA, helping you get paid every day. This is the boss of Bitcoin, the Cristo of crypto. It's your boy BK. And if you don't like me, you must not like money. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Today, we will be looking at how you can invest and grow rich according to Mr. Robert Kiyosaki, the self-made millionaire, world-renowned author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Mr. Robert Kiyosaki, I suggest you familiarize yourself quite rapidly. This man is one of the movers, shakers, and moneymakers in the world, and he speaks his mind very often, not only on his keys to success to accumulate wealth, but also current events and what he thinks in the market. This is actually what he said in a recent interview with regards to the Federal Reserve. Check it out.
Thank you, Robert. Well, let's talk gold now. Having not just quite the day, but quite the month. You've been bullish, obviously, for a long time. But what do you think is driving it here right now? Where do we start?
Well, obviously, when they reportedly attack an oil tanker and all that stuff, and Trump rattling his saber, and China and all the uncertainty in the world, naturally it spooks people. Plus the bond yields have dropped. The stock market is going to crash because it's in a bubble. So a lot of people are looking for alternative answers. And I've been on as I wrote about in Fake, my latest book, I've been on the gold standard since 1972. So I've gone through heaven and hell with gold and silver, and now I look like a genius.
Looking like a genius indeed, Robert. So we've spoken often, like you said, you're expecting the stock market to come down. What do you make of the Fed's move yesterday, though? Were you surprised that they didn't get pressured by the president?
I'm not surprised at anything today, and I really don't understand why people watch the Fed so much. Do you know what I mean? They're the problem. The Fed is the problem.
Right.
And they've torn apart the whole financial system. I mean, they're actually a criminal operation as far as I'm concerned. That.
And so you can see, Robert Kiyosaki, he really doesn't hold any punches. He really lets his mind be known. As I mentioned, this man has made tens of millions of dollars throughout his lifetime. And he's kind of a straight shooter, about as straight as they come. And one of the things that he mentions about the Fed is it actually basically works for Wall Street, And when we look at the chart that I posted, you basically had three options. What would Robert do in this situation? Buy gold, buy SPY, or buy Bitcoin? When it comes to SPY, this is actually the, Standard & Poor's depository receipts, basically one of the world's largest, oldest, most respected, most historic ETFs, electronic trading funds, basically a huge index fund of all the big-time blue-chip American companies in the world. Right. And so this is what that looks like right now. Right now, it's $246, up, 3.5 points on the day. about a 1.5%. And these are the different companies that it holds currently. Keep in mind, they all have different weight and they all have different percent changes. So it's kind of like a weighted average of, an eclectic look at the American industry market. Right? You got Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Berkshire Hathaway, Johnson & Johnson, Google again, JPM, Procter & Gamble, AT&T, Verizon, Intel, Coca-Cola, Walt Disney, Bank of America, Pepsi, Walmart, Adobe, Netflix, all the big time American companies. That is the SPY, right? But the problem, as we have come to understand it to be, is that the status quo is no longer good enough, right? The Fed can't keep printing fake money to pump these companies up through the roof, because essentially that's what has happened since the Great Recession. So, when it comes to the SPY and the Federal Reserve, one of the things he said is he does not pay attention to the news. He cuts off the TV. In fact, my grandmother used to call this thing the idiot box. She would say, the longer you sit in front of it, the dumber you get. So when you're thinking about your investment considerations and, growing rich over time, I strongly suggest you heed the words of Mr. Kiyosaki and indeed cut off your television, right? When it comes to gold, right? This is one of the reasons I made this video. I think this could be a huge opportunity, not only in the financial market space, but also in the crypto space. Gold has been at historic, not necessarily historic, but, been at lows, relative lows for the past 5 to 10 years. I think the COMEX has suppressed the price of gold artificially, and it doesn't really represent the true value of what you would think an asset that has been valued for thousands of years would be worth, right? 1 ounce of gold is today's price about $1,500, do they say? $1,600. One is going to be a day when I look back at that price and I'll be like, wow, I can't believe gold was $1,600 an ounce, right? I promise you that day will come in the future. Anyway, gold is $1,600 today. And one share of Amazon is $1,800. How long has Amazon been out? 1997. How old is gold? Billions. About 6 or 7 billion years. So there you go. Amazon is worth more per unit than gold, right? And that, I think, is the opportunity. I think the market is starting to understand this, as well as metals. Gold specifically rose 3.5% on Monday, the highest percentage gain since June of 2006. The futures are indeed up to 1650, right? And essentially, gold kind of goes directly against the Federal Reserve. Why? Because gold is, as Mr. Kiyosaki mentioned, God's money. It was mentioned in the Bible. It was used as currency, collateral, and payment in the Bible. And there weren't too many instruments of debt. In fact, I think the only time Jesus did get mad, he was yelling at bankers, if I'm not mistaken. So there you go. This is, a little bit of speculation, but I did want to give you a broader view at the global fiscal policy, some of the macroeconomic trends and changes and transitions that are happening around the world. Gold, as they mentioned right here in the top line, gold used to be important. I think that pretty much says it all. The Federal Reserve does not value gold because they value instruments of debt. The more instruments of debt that they issue and offer in exchange to these companies, the more equity these companies go out and get in the market. It's really, a construct and constrained playing field. But nonetheless, there is a current development underway called the BRICS, BRICS, S. This stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And together, they hold almost 4,000 tons of gold. How much does the U.S. have? Well, that's a question all in itself. I'm not really quite sure. Nobody really knows, as the Federal Reserve has never actually been audited. And if it has, it's not even based on gold. So I think this chart is pretty interesting in the fact that it shows the top gold producers in the world. Keep in mind, it's not necessarily up to date, given that it's 2020, but it shows you kind of the trend throughout the 2014 to 2017 with regards to some of the top producing companies in the world, countries in the world. China and Russia, again, lead the charge with 600, almost 700 metric tons produced on average per year. United States under 250. So again, less than 1/3 of the amount that China and Russia produce together. What do the BRICS consist of? BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Guess what? They're on that list too, bringing up number 7 with another $1.50 on top. So now you have nearly 850, more than 4 times the United States, right? This is going to be a problem because if there ever is a real, quote, trade war, guess what? And the BRICS win, those countries can easily not sell their gold to the United States and basically strengthen their currency off a gold-based system. Keep in mind, this is all speculation. None of it has actually happened yet. But, 10, 20 years from now, who knows what the future will hold, right?
Gold is God's money. The government money is fiat currency, the dollar, the yen, the euro. And then now we have people's money called crypto. So the Fed is under a lot of pressure because they're the real fakes. The Fed has destroyed the monetary system of the world along with its central banks. It has manipulated the market. In my opinion, they went criminal once they started just pumping, working for basically Wall Street.
Yeah.
In the middle. And with regards to BTC, my man says this is the people's currency. I think that's amazing to hear that from one of the self-made millionaires of our generation, to understand what Bitcoin is doing for the people, to understand how big of a problem the Federal Reserve has become, how it essentially funds, the global manipulation and exploitation currently known and recognized as the US dollar, and how other countries are being proactive and taking initiative, to protect themselves from this action. I believe inside the next 10 or 20 years, we will have a gold-based currency on the blockchain, right? I said this on my Twitter back in May, I think, of 2017, and it's still standing right now. I said inside of 10 years, the new global reserve currency will be some version of Bitcoin based on China's gold. Right? And my man said it's like, getting started in crypto is like, a new Ferrari. He said I could go out and buy one. That don't mean I want to build it myself. And so with that, he was kind of talking about like the engineering of it. Like, trust me. I mean, I've told you before on my channel, clowns drive Lambos, bosses drive Ferraris, and I plan to have one myself one day. But it's like, when you look at Bitcoin and you understand really how the engineering and the what's going on under the hood with the blockchain and the ASIC and the basic and the script and the hash rate, it's crazy. I don't need to know how a Ferrari works. All I need to know is the gas and the brake. And that's all we teach you with the boss method. Buy or sell. You know what I'm saying? It's just that easy to get paid. So if you want to join the money team, like I say every day, the doors are always open. We do have a very, very, very large community growing on Telegram. I think we're almost up to 400 people. I literally just opened this thing up this week. So who knows where we'll be by the time this video publishes. But join the Telegram channel. The doors are always open. And then if you want to put down 2 and pick up 6 like a boss, jump on over to bossofbitcoin.com. This is where you can sign up for some of our VIP trading communities. We do have the profit package, top 7 coins of swing trade every 7 days. Whenever we are in a bull market right now, we're sitting sideways. It's not really anything to trade, but I'm giving these people an update every day. And we did make money, you know what I'm saying, when Bitcoin went down. I had my people sell it at $9,200. Holla at your boy. Then we got the VIP trading group, the boss alert messages. I call it BAM! You know what I'm saying? Because we getting paid 7 days a week. This is a very, very, very good group. This is my most, most prized community right here. They get me up to the date. I'm about to jump on the thread right now and answer some questions, probably make another exclusive video for them. And that's what we do. We just come together to help each other make money. Each one, reach one, teach one. It's about that time of the day signing out. Boss. Boy BK, no matter where you stay. Brazil to Bay, California, all the way back out through Germany. Good night, good morning, and good day. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your time. Do me a favor if you haven't done it already. Subscribe right now. Turn your notifications on. Click that bell. Show me some love in the comments. Let me know what you think about this video. Do you think gold is the best bet, SPY or BTC? Which one will it be? Do that for me if you appreciate mine. Till we meet again, stay cryptic, y'all. Peace.
Like a boss. Arms.